Today we doing Seif Bet and Gimel in Shulchan Aruch, Hoshen Mishpat, Siman Aleph. B'ezrat Hashem. So the second slide that you don't see, it says the first sentence of Shulchan Aruch. I'll read it in Hebrew and then I'm translating in English. אדם שחבל בחברו, אין מגבין דיינים שאינם סמוכים בארץ ישראל, נזק, צער ופגם, ובושת וכופר, אבל שבט וריפוי מגבין. So, the Shulchan Aruch tells us, if a man hit his friend and injured him, the דיינים that they are not מומחים and have smicha in Eretz Israel, like we spoke last time, they cannot charge him for the damage, the sorrow, the blemish, the embarrassment, and the selling of the if he sold the man or his limbs, so he doesn't pay for that. Okay, but shevet, meaning the fact that he cannot work now, is not employed, and ripui, the value of the healing that he has to spend to get healed, that they do charge. Okay, so that was the literal translation. But now I want to explain a little bit more about it. So, first of all, we see that in injury, someone is injuring his friend. So it means few things. One thing, it means that the guy gets damaged, right? So for example, if so how do we estimate the damage? Yes, if someone lost his hand. So what is the value of a hand? It's very hard to define the value of one of the organs of a man, right? If you have a scratch on his face, so how do you translate that to money, right? It's very difficult. So the way that the Gemara tells us how to translate damage to money is that we estimate this man, if he would have been sold as a slave, how much would you sell him before the damage was happening, and how much is he worth as a slave after the damage happened. Okay, and the fact that his value as a slave went down, so as much as it went down, so that's the way that we estimate the value of the damage. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing in injury is sorrow. Yeah? Someone made, let's say, got chas v'shalom stabbed in the stomach. Okay, so the slave is not much of a damage, but it will suffer maybe for weeks, maybe for months, until it will get healed. It's a lot of sorrow, right? So this sorrow, it means money. So the guy shouldn't pay him money for the sorrow that he made him. So this is also something that is very hard to say. So the way that the Gemara gives us how to translate the sorrow to money is, if I would tell you, listen, how much would you want to get money to have this sorrow? Okay, Yochanan, you have a pain in your body now, right? So let's say you don't have pain, and now I'm telling you, how much money would it be worth it for you to suffer this pain that you have? So there is some kind of estimation. Okay, if it's a small pain, so someone can say 100 shekels is enough for me. If it's a big pain, so it can be much more. If it's really big pain, for like a stab in the stomach, so it can be, I don't know, $1 million. Yeah, I don't know. But there is a value. There is a way to say that's the amount that the person would accept to have this sorrow. Okay? Now, Pgam is also something similar to what I said as damage, is that there is it's like blemish. Okay, so really it's more relevant Pgam about we'll see about Pgam further on, that it's talking about rape, that a woman, like a virgin, that she gets raped and now she's not a virgin anymore, so that's called Pgam. Now because she's not a virgin, so she's not like people will not want to marry her as much as she was when she was a virgin. So that's basically Pgam. We'll speak about more in another time. Anyhow, Boshet is embarrassment. Okay, so let's say Shimon slapped Reuven. Yeah, so it's not a damage, nothing. It's not, but it's embarrassing. Okay, so how much is this embarrassing cost? Okay, so it depends who it is, right? If you embarrass like someone that he doesn't have like high self-esteem, he's a cleaner, so he doesn't mind so much. Give me 50 shekels, it's enough. I don't mind. And it's like he's used to get to be like low and depressed and people embarrassing, so he doesn't mind so much. But if you slap like the prime minister, so that's something that it's like all the news will speak about it. Everybody will be like the news of the week. So it's a lot of money. It can be 1,000, 100,000, I don't know. It can be very, very, right? So embarrassment, it says everything is according to the person that made the embarrassment and the person that got the embarrassment. That's what the Gemara says. הכל לפי המבייש והמתבייש. If let's say the prime minister gave the cleaner a slap, so the cleaner is much more embarrassed than if his friend would have slapped him, because it's the prime minister. So the prime minister will have to pay more than the friend of the cleaner. Okay, so it depends who gave the slap. Kofar is a whole different story. Kofar is talking about someone that stole a man and sold him. Okay? If Reuven took Shimon as a slave, okay? That's one scenario. Another scenario is that they take someone as a hostage and they tell the family to pay ransom to have him back. So those things is about kofar, and we'll speak about it also in another time. Now I'm just explaining the concepts. Okay? And Shevet very poor, that's what I already explained. Shevet is about not being able to be employed, that you have to sit in the house or lie down in the hospital, and you cannot walk. So the person that made the injury, you will have to pay for that. And healing, the amount that the doctors take for that, for the how much they have to pay for the healing to get healed. Okay, good. So now we're going to third slide. So now in this I brought the text of the Sma in Siman Aleph. סעיף קטן י"א of the Sma. Okay? So the Sma says like this. When the Shulchan Aruch speaks about שבט וריפוי מקביל, what does it mean? פירוש, מכל חבלה מקבין אותן. In any injury, you take out the money of the שבט וריפוי. אפילו מקטיעת ידו, even if the person that made the injury cut the whole hand of his friend. Okay? So why would I think that this is different? That the Sma has to tell me that. So he says, "Ve'ino shchiach," because it is not common. And if you remember last year we spoke about the concept of what the Bedin is dealing with. They're dealing with something that is common. Something that is not common, and there's no loss of money, they don't deal with it. So the fact that it's not common, that someone will cut the hand of his friend, so I wouldn't think the Bedin would not deal with it. Okay? So the Sma tells us that when we speak about injury, it's any kind of injury. Even though this specific injury is something that it's not common, because it's part of injury, and generally injury is common, the Bedin deals with it, and the person that's injured will have to pay, like we spoke about, shevet v'ripui, not employment, unemployment, and healing. מכל מקום, continues the Sma, מכל מקום, כיוון דשבט וריפוי, הם שייכים גם כן בשאר מכות ופצעים משכיחים, because that being unemployed and healing is relevant to all kinds of injuries and hits. סביר עלי הרמב"ם, the Rambam in the Halachot of Sanhedrin, that he speaks about those things, he holds, and that's the way that the Shulchan Aruch said להלכה, ואין לחלק בין מכה למכה, we're not splitting between the different kinds of injuries, and you take the money any case, even if this specific injury is not common. Okay, that's the opinion of the Shulchan Aruch. It is based on the Rambam. Okay, but there is an opinion of the Rosh that he holds, in this case, you will not have ability to take the money out with the Bedin. The Bedin will not deal with it. Because it is not common, the Bedin will deal with it. That's the opinion of the Rosh. Go down in Baba Kama, Perek Chet, Siman Bet of the Rosh, and we're not posting like this, but there is the fact that the Rosh holds like that, so it means something that we'll speak about in a different time. What happens when we have an argument between the Rishonim, those opinions that are not in the Shulchan Aruch, what we do with them. Okay. So I'm going to slide 4. Okay? I'm going to slide 4, and yeah, it's double. I see that it's the same text like, okay, slide 5. Okay, so now that's the נתיבות המשפט in סעיף קטן ו'. So he say that about גם בושת וכופר. Okay? So we have three things that the Shulchan Aruch puts them together. And basically what the Nativos comes to tell us is that even though it's mentioned in the Shulchan Aruch in one line, as if it's one thing, but really each one of them is a whole different story. Okay? So he tells us, גם לא שייך באדם שחבל בחברו. That's what I told you in the beginning. That גם is talking about a woman that lost the virginity. So רק באונס ומפתה. Someone that's raped or someone that's seduced. a lady. So it's nothing to do with the regular injury. וכן כופר לא שייך, רק בשור שהעמיד אדם. And כופר, the way that he explained it, and that's the more classic way, is if an ox killed a man, yeah, if ox, let's say Reuven's ox killed Shimon, so Reuven had to pay the family of Shimon the value of the father that they lost, basically. Okay, so that's called kofar. Basically, kofar is the value of a man. That, like, if he lost his life or something like that, or he got stolen, like that. Anyhow, so the Netivot said that the reason the Shulchan Aruch put them together because all of them have the common denominator that the Bedin don't deal with it, basically. Okay? And he learned it from the Sma. Okay. So, on slide 6. So, here we have the words of the Rama. And the Rama says, יש אומרים שאף שבט וריפוי אין דנים. ולא ראיתי נוהגים לדקדק בזה. So the Rama brings the opinion of the two, that is really the opinion of the Rosh. It says that also Ripui and Shevet the Bedin don't deal with, and if so they don't will deal with any injury, right? Because that was what left from the Shulchan Aruch, but the Rama says even that no. So they don't deal with anything to do with injuries, according to this opinion. But the Rama says, ולא ראיתי נוהגים לדקדק בזה, so I saw in my eyes that no one looked on this opinion of the two and the Rosh. So meaning, also in the time of the Rama, in his place, in Ashkenaz, also people used to take money for the unemployment and healing of the injury. Slide 7 says, רק כופין החובל לפייס הנכבל. Okay? So the Rama says that what are we trying to achieve when we're dealing with this injury? If now we are at Bedin and we have those two people coming to us, and one is very angry because he got injured, right? And he wants to rip off his friend, right? Take as much money as possible. So according to the Rama, we're not trying to get the exact value of all those things, of the shevet, ripui, and all of those things. What we're trying to achieve, lefayes hanichbal, that the person that got injured will be calm and relaxed and happy with what he gets. Okay? So if he needs to get $1,000 to be happy, so he might give him $1,000, even though maybe the healing and the unemployment was more or less. But if that's what will satisfy him, so that's what we'll give him, basically. We will try to get to a state that he will be happy with what he gets. Okay? That's basically the opinion of the Rama. And now the Netivot Mishpat explains, הוא הדין דעומדים כמה ייתן עבור דמי רפואה, וזהו בכלל, הכל בכלל פיוס. Okay? So we are estimating how much he will have to pay for the healing. Okay? So it doesn't matter if he did go to the doctor or he didn't go to the doctor. It's not about how much he expended, like in the reality, but how much he would have, how much is relevant to this situation. Yeah? Someone can not go to the doctor and take care of himself, right? to put a bandage himself, whatever, right? He doesn't have to go to the doctor. But if he wouldn't go to the doctor, how much it would have cost him, and this is the way that we estimate how much he needs to get to be happy with this situation now. Not happy, but relax. Okay. Slide 8. לכונסו כפי הנראה להם. So the wording of the Rama is a little bit strange for us, because it says lekonsо, to fine him, to give him a fine, כפי הנראה להם, according to the way it looks to the דיינים. So what does it mean? We just said in the last few, we don't do fine. We don't deal with fines. The Torah, there is few things that is defined as a fine, that a person should pay extra money, right? For example, if you stole, is a fine. It's not a kevin, it's not the original amount. So that the betting doesn't deal with. But here is mentioning the word a fine. But it doesn't mean really a fine that we don't deal with. It's just explaining that the way that the betting deals with it is that they take the money according to the way the situation. Not they don't do it like exact calculation of the expenses and time we will speak further on. Slide 9. בהמה שהזיקה את האדם. Okay, if we have animal that made damage, injured a man. Okay, so that's something that we do deal with. We do the calculation of how much it is. Just want to take something. Okay. Yeah. So this slide 9 is the next Seif. That's what I wanted to make sure. Seif Gimel. Now we're starting Seif Gimel. Okay? So Seif Gimel is speaking about a case of animal that made a damage to a man. So the question is, do we deal with it as bad din today, or we cannot speak about it? Okay? So the answer is that today, because we don't have the bad din, so we don't deal with it. So the question is why? So like we spoke before, because it's not common. Usually the animals don't attack people. And why is that? Why the animals attack themselves, one another, and they don't attack animals? So that's something very interesting. It says in the Gemara, Rabba Kaman, Daf Bet, Amud Bet, that because Adam yesh lo mazal, a man had mazal. What does it mean, mazal? So usually people translate mazal as luck. Okay, you have luck, but it's not very clear. So there is an opinion that explains what does it mean mazal. You have angel that is protecting him. Okay, and there is Rashi. Rashi is saying something like more simple, that you have a common sense that he is guarding himself not to get hit. So he's doing whatever he needs to protect himself. That's Rashi. Okay, anyhow, like we said, because it is not common. So I'm going to slide 10. אין גובים נזקו, דיינים שאינם סמוכים בארץ ישראל, דיינים that are not, they didn't get the סמיכה in ארץ ישראל, they will not charge him, they cannot deal with it, מפני שהוא דבר שאינו מצוי, because it's not common. אבל אדם שהזיק במד חברו, משלם נזק שלם בכל מקום. But if a man injured an animal, the man will pay. Okay? So if a dog bites a man, the owner of the dog don't pay. But if the man bites the dog, he will pay. Yeah. That's the way it is. That's the halacha. Okay? So again, what's the principle? Sounds funny, but what is the principle? Principle is, if it is common, we deal with it. If it's not common, we don't deal with it. So a man that is doing damage is very common. Most of the damage of the world is coming because of people. Because of people that are not careful, that are not behaving right? This is the most common damage, right? Someone said that the most dangerous animal in the earth is human. You know these senses. So, the same principle. A man that is doing damage, anyhow he will pay. Doesn't matter what he's doing damage. If he's eating his friend, if he's eating an animal, if he's breaking something, a man always has to pay full damage. Even if he makes the damage when he's asleep. Let's say you went to sleep by your friend, and while you sleep, you turn over and you broke his, laptop. You will have to pay. Why? I was asleep, I was not conscious. A man is always responsible for what he does. Okay? That's the halacha. But we'll speak about it in another time. Slide 11. וכן בהמה שהזיקה בשן ורגל, animal that made damage with teeth or feet. Okay? So I'll explain what does it mean. So animals have different ways of doing damage. Okay?
Eating?
One of them is eating, that's called shen, and another one is regel, that is stepping on something. Okay? That's shen v'regel. So this is the common damages of animal. But for example, there is keren, that like the ox is going, yeah, or like with the hands, the animal attacks with the hands. These are things that are not common. Okay? Keren is defined as not common, like we spoke about last time. So, if it is shen v'regel, eating or stepping on something, we will have to deal with it. The owner of the animal will have to pay. הואיל והיא מועדת להן מתחילתה, because the animal is, we are expecting that the animal will do something like that, הרי זה דבר מצוי, מגביל אותו דיינים שאינם סמוכים בארץ ישראל. So it's a common thing, so the דיינים will charge the owner. Okay. Slide 12. וכן מי שגנב או גזל. Okay? Someone that stole or robbed his friend, or enemy. Yeah, stole and robbed. So, מגביל ממנו הקרן בלבד. We take only what he stole. Okay? Let's say we caught him, we cannot take extra money. Be careful not to do it again. We'll show you. He stole 100 shekels and you have to pay 20,000 shekels. We don't do that. We don't do fines. Okay? Whatever he stole, that's what you have to pay. That's the halacha today. So if he stole 100 shekels, he pays only 100 shekels, not more. Okay? The Netivot, in the name of the Sma and the Shach, explains, the Matnitin Darish, the Reish Sanhedrin, בגזלות בעניין מומחים. That in the beginning of Masechet Sanhedrin tells us that gzela, robbing, is, by the way, you know the difference between a ganav and gazal? Thief and a robber, I think is the translation. thief, he comes at night when no one sees him, and he takes, and he runs away. Okay, Gazlan, he comes in the middle of the day, give me your money, give me your wallet.
Oh.
Okay, that's Gazlan. Okay, that's basically that's the concept of Ganav and Gazlan. Okay? We'll speak about it more in another time, Blinada. But anyhow, so we say Gzelot needs mumchim. We need those people that have the special smicha. So you must go to Bedin of the mumchim, of the will dayanim. Okay? אבל שלא במקום מומחים. But if there's no mumchim, like today, we don't have those rabbis that have this special smicha that goes back to Moshe Rabbeinu. We don't have that. because you can בזמן הזה later mumchim, like in this time. אף עדותות היה, אף עדותות בנימין. So even people that are simple rabbis that don't have this special smicha, they can judge Gzelot and Gnevot. Okay? But they don't take the extra money of the knas. They take only the basic money that got stored abroad. Now I'm slide 13. See Fred. In the Netivot. So he says, גזר, אף על גב דאמרינן בהחובל דגזלות וחבלות לא שכיחי, אבדינן שליחותיהם. Okay? So he's explaining, you couldn't say, first I'll translate literally, if that even though we say in the Perek, in Baba Kama, Daf Peidal Demut Bet, that גזלות וחבלות, damaging and stealing, lo shchichi is not common, and it says there, lo avdin shlichuteyu, that we cannot deal with it. So, I'm slide 14. צריך לומר, דלא תיגשי, דאמתינן וכמה דוכתי בש"ס, והיו דנים לגנב ולגזלן. We saw in the few places in the Shas that they did deal with the ganav v'gazlan, with the thief and robber. They deal with it. So, even though we have a contradiction, we have Gemara that says we're not supposed to deal with it, but the practical, we see that they did deal with it, even though they didn't have those special smicha. So, we are doing like it says in the other places, not like Baba Kama Daf Daled, and we do take the money for stealing and robbing. Slide 15. Like it says in the Tosfot, כתוב התוספות שם דיבור המתחיל אינמי ובסנהדרין דף ג' עמוד א' דיבור המתחיל שלו, בגזלות על ידי חבלות לא שכיחי ולא דנים. Okay? So we explain, Tosfot explain, what is this contradiction? How come in the Gemara in Baba Kama we say we don't do, and practically we do take the money for those things? So Tosfot explains that what the Gemara in Baba Kama meant to say is Gzelot al yedei chabalot, that people that steal by injuring. Okay? They punch the person and then they take his money. Okay? This is not common. Usually, or they fight and they punch each other and they injure each other, or they steal or rob. But usually it's not common that they do both. They beat him up and then they take him his money. This is not common.
Not here.
In Colombia it's common. Okay, don't tell my wife.
No, but
No, it's just
rarely, but
Okay, but it's rare. Like I said,
rare, it's rare.
I didn't say it doesn't happen. It can happen also here, but it's rare. It's not common. Right? Okay.
the business was rare. The fine.
okay.
How many times a year you hear about a story like that in the news? Every day?
No.
Every week?
Depends how much you turn on the TV. We don't turn on television.
You turn the TV one year by year? No, it's really,
Okay. Slide 16. גזלות סתם האדנים. Simple robbery, we do charge, we do deal with it. זו כוונת הרמב"ם והמחבר, and that's what the Rambam in Halachic Sanhedrin said, and that's what the Shulchan Aruch said, that simple robbery without beating up each other, we deal with it and we charge for it, and the robber will have to pay back the money.
They had nice thieves.
Yes. Sometimes it even did tshuva.
They turn about Jews. Talking about going in and what you take it to jail.
Okay.
I won't give the stuff.
I'll tell you a little story. It's a story from the Gemara on Baba Kama. There was one robber that he told his wife, listen, I want to do tshuva. Sorry for what I did. So she yelled at him, if you do tshuva, you'll have to give back even your belt. You won't have anything. All what you have is only from your job as a robber. What do you mean you want to do tshuva? We'll have to do anything. Right? So the rabbis, when they heard that, they decided, that's a very, very interesting point, they decided that robbers and thieves, that they come to do tshuva, we tell them, don't give back whatever you already stole and robbed. Just do tshuva, that's all. And if they come to the person they robbed him, and they tell him, please take it back, I want to do tshuva. If he takes it back, the rabbis are not happy with him. He should refuse. He should tell the robber, please keep it. I'm happy that you're doing tshuva.
Unless it's a big loss.
What?
Unless it's a big loss.
That's in Halachic effort.
It doesn't matter. You throw the car, you
Okay. So the principle here is that we don't want to lock the door of tshuva from people, because it might prevent those robbers and thieves to do tshuva. We don't want to prevent them, so we do all these like takana, this rule of Kabbalah.
Yesterday is big. So people steal. That's why once they have, okay, they have the car, they have the thing, they have the sofa, they have the TV, they have the internet, and they say, hey, I want to do yeshiva, and they don't want nothing to society.
It's better that they will do tshuva in that state, and they won't keep on robbing and steal like some other thieves that we heard about, right? Anyhow. I'm in slide 17, אוקיי? והרמה יש אומרים, הביא תירוץ אחר, מה שאמר לחלק בין גזלה בחטיפה, דלא שכיחי, ובין כופר ופיקדון וקדומה דשכיח. ברמה גזלה בחטיפה, stealing like robbing, and there is a kind of robbing by taking like and running away. That the robber takes something and run away, right? It's not common. Usually people don't get robbed in the middle of the street and they roll around. Then kofer pikadon, pikadon is shkia. But there is a kind of robbing that is common, that let's say Reuven gave Shimon to keep his money. Hold my money for me. I want you to help me. I don't know about the people in my room. I want you to keep my money. Yeah? And then Shimon, after whatever, he tells him, you didn't give me any money. What do you want? Yeah? So this is common. Someone that was received something to keep, to be the guard of it, and then he says, you didn't give me anything. I don't know what you're talking about. So this is common. So that's, according to this opinion that the Rama brings, this is something that the Bedin will deal with. Okay? Okay. Slide 18. All of that was according to the Shema. But the Shach, in Seif Katan Tet, a Sid Beze al Shema, is arguing with the Shema ואי אפשר לכוון כן בכוונת המחתה. You cannot say that according to the opinion of the Shulchan Aruch. Why? דהי בית יוסף לא הביא תירוץ זה, because we know, we have a principle, that the Shulchan Aruch is abbreviation of the Beit Yosef. All what we have in Shulchan Aruch is brought down in the Beit Yosef. And we don't see that in the Beit Yosef. So you cannot explain the Shulchan Aruch as opinion that is not brought down in the Beit Yosef. Okay? That's the Shach. הוא מפרש לסביר על הרמב"ם בפירוש דאין בנים גזלות, היינו הכפל מגזלות. So, he's explaining that the Rambam in that we don't deal with gzelot, meaning the extra money of the fine of gzelot. Okay, when we speak, what we don't take from the robber, the extra money. The original amount that he stole, we do take from him, but the extra we don't take from him. That's the way that is explaining the Beit Yosef, according to the Rambam. אוקיי? אבל הקרן גובים בכל מקום, וזהו שדייק, גובים ממנו הקרן מלבד. If we do take the money of the original amount, that's what he says, that we don't take the extra, only the original. Slide 20. היינו ביאורים סעיף קטן ב' לחלק זה בזמן דהיו סמוכים בארץ ישראל, לא היו אינם סמוכים דנים דין גזלות. Even though, like we explained, that in the time that there was rabbi that did have the smicha, we would not deal with those problems in bed in the dot that don't have the smicha. Okay? אבל עכשיו דליגנו סמוכים בעוונותינו הרבים, דנים דיני גזלות, ואין שם מילתא בכמה. And now we are dealing with those thieves. 22, slide 22. עיין באורים שם, and okay, there's a big book on Hoshen Mishpat, very, very deep and complex. It's called Urim v'Tumim, of Rabbi Yonatan Aibishis. That he was a very, very big genius, and it's one of the books that is very hard to learn, but someone that want to know like deep Hoshen Mishpat, it's one of the books that they learn. So it brought down the opinion there. יש אומרים, that's according to the Rama brings this opinion now, יש אומרים דווקא גזלות דשכיחי כגון כופר ובגדון וכדומה, אבל גזלה ממש לא שכיחה, ואין דנים, אלא אם כן הגזלה קיימת מחייבים להחזירה. So he's explained like this. We have like a robber that is not common, like we said. And that we don't deal with it, because it's not common. But, even though we're not dealing with it, if we found the robber with the thing that he stole, we will take it from him and give it back to the owner, that's for sure. But if we don't have the thing that he robbed, yeah, but we know that he is the robber, so we cannot charge him that he will pay from like something else, from his money in his bank account. Yeah. If you have it, we take it from him. But if we don't find it on him, by him, so that's according to the Rama. It's according to the Nimukei Yosef, and the Rama brings this opinion. Okay? So until now, this is basically the end of Seif Gimel of Hoshen Mishpat, Siman Aleph, and Bezrat Hashem, next week, Monday, we will do Siman Daled, לחיים טובים ולשלום, שבת שלום, עם כל טוב, from ירושלים, קבר דוד המלך. ברכה והצלחה.